Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming Brodie Sutherland, who is the CEO of Tocvan Ventures, which is found under the ticker symbol TOC on the CSE or TCVNF over the counter. Hey, Brodie, how are you?
Yeah, good, Justin. Thanks for having me. Excited to start working with you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So your company seems pretty exciting, but I think that it might be difficult for some people to get into the minutia in terms of the geology terms and grading and everything else like that. So I'm really excited to be covering the story for roughly the next year. And this is a company that I feel like has a lot of potential, not just because of the team there. I think that there are three things that make any company successful. It's the people, it's the process, and the product. So that's really what I want to focus on today. What I would like to do to start is to ask you, who is Brodie?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm a geologist. I've worked in the industry for over 15 years in over 20 countries. I've seen a lot of different projects showcasing a lot of different commodities. And, when we came across these projects in Mexico, I became extremely excited with the potential behind them. And as we built a team there, just couldn't be happier with what we have and the path that we're on.
And you recently actually got promoted to CEO. Is that correct?
That's right. So I co-founded the company in 2018. We went public in 2019.
Okay.
And recently, January of this year, I took over as CEO. And really, that's based on what I was seeing in terms of the team that we had and the projects and the locations. And I really wanted to be ingrained in that and part of that as we move forward.
And I think that being a co-founder is one thing, but I think you also brought some pretty new innovations to this company, but also to the site, because I think that it's been lagging for a while. And when we look at what you were able to do, the results are pretty compelling. So what I would like to jump to next is who is Tocvan and what is the company's mission?
Yeah, our mission is twofold. We have one project, Pilar, that we feel is a near-term producer, and we want to move it forward along that path. And second is we are an active explorer. So not only are we exploring at Pilar, but we have a second project in Sonora called Picacho, which we will start drilling on this fall. And we see immense potential there. And so that's how we're creating value for our shareholders, is exploring, finding more, defining that, and then moving that towards production.
And the really interesting thing here is that the company profile that we released earlier this week actually goes through and explains that this could be a 10x potential where right now it's been a couple of years now where you're developing this project and starting the company. But if everything goes according to plan, there is potential to, again, acquire that asset and to potentially go 10x. I really like that you've de-risked this before trying to bite off an even bigger chunk, because I think that there's going to be a lot of work to do. But it also means that there is significant upside if the results that have already been shown are able to get to actually go into production and actually get pulled out of the ground. So the next thing I'd like to focus on here is just your actual mine specifically, because when I went through and actually did the company profile, what I noticed is that your grades are like extremely good. I'm talking either at the high end, minimum on par with the region, if not potentially hundreds of times better than other people in the area. So what makes this project so special?
Yeah, it's just that it's the grade that we've come across as we've started to define and explore at Pilar. And to give you a sense of what the expectation is in the region, a lot of the economic mines that are operating right now, they see grades in the range of 0.5 to 0.7 grams per ton gold. This year we've drilled 117 meters at 1.2 grams per ton. So it's just showing you that, we're seeing, like you mentioned, kind of multitudes of what the average is. And that's our expectation. And that's what we're looking for as we continue to explore and define there.
And I think what's really interesting is that, again, as we talked about in the company profile, and again, check out the description if you want to find a link to that video. This is not an area that is new to development or new to mining. So there are existing big players in the region who are currently not just in production, but actually at the point where they're selling the gold. And there's other people who are closer to your region or local that are actually, again, also doing feasibility studies and those test mines. So that kind of talks about the viability here. And again, a geology term is again, a feasibility study. So being a geologist, what made this project special for you? Because again, we had a chance to talk before we started recording. And you mentioned that you've worked all around the world for a long time. You've seen a lot of great companies, seen a lot of great projects, but ultimately this one really drew your attention. So what was it that really captured you to want to work here?
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's a list of that goes on, but really, the big thing for us is we saw the potential straight away with Pilar. In the past, there had been historic work done to start to define what was there, but it was done in a very unsystematic way. And when you need to define a resource, it needs to be done systematically. So we kind of took a step back and started that process, and immediately we were seeing success from that. And that's our approach as we go. But really, as we learned more about Sonora and became part of that community, we realized that this is a place that's built for mining. Sonora has such a long history of mining, and because of that, you have excellent personnel who know mining. They grew up with it. They went to university to study it, and now they can work in their backyard to not only create value for the companies, but for the communities around it. And for us, that was a big win. And if I look at cost to operate in other jurisdictions, it's difficult to get much lower than Sonora, just because of accessibility. It's such a terrific place to work.
And again, you mentioned that you were doing a new type of drilling, because there's more than one way to drill a mine. But when you're looking to again, to prove feasibility, sometimes what people do is they try to find the big one. They try to find that big vein. They try to find the big pocket. And if you drill and drill and drill and never find it, it doesn't mean that the site is bad. It just means that you weren't able to find it. So could you maybe just explain the way that you took this underappreciated asset and actually showed that it is not only feasible, but it's actually above a lot of areas. It's above most of the other mines in the region.
Yeah, and really, I think you touched on it there, Justin. It's in the past, there were people that really wanted to focus on the high grade component because that creates excitement. And when you get focused in on that, it's very easy to miss. So when you're missing on that mark, then you're losing all your attention, and things seem to kind of fade away. Where for us, the high grade is fantastic. I mean, we know we have that in the system. We've drilled it over and over again. However, for it to work as a mine, you need the low grade component as well. And that's what really excited us about the potential, is that you had this low grade envelope around the high grade, exposed at surface, on the side of a hill. So, it's very easy to get to start an open pit mine. And that was the overall viewpoint that we had, was let's not focus on the high grade. Let's just start to define what's here, and it'll come as we go. And sure enough, a great example, this year we stepped 125 meters to the southeast. We drilled in a different direction than previous operators had, because what we've learned is things are dipping towards the northeast. So simply we drill perpendicular to that. And sure enough, we came across 108 meters at 0.8 grams per ton gold with a high grade component in that. And it was unexpected, but a nice surprise for us. And it means that what we're doing is working, and we just need to continue to do that.
And that really comes with your expertise. So I think this might be a time like where you might be really close to your project, where you might not fully appreciate that you're bringing something unique to the table here. Because like, how long has this asset been known for? Like, it's been poked and prodded for a while. Like, how long has it actually been around?
For over 30 years. Yeah, it was first drilled in 95, 96.
Okay.
And so it's been around for a very long time, and it's very well known. You talk to a lot of geologists or mine engineers in Sonora, they know of Pilar, uh,
Mhm.
but because again the focus was kind of on the wrong component of it, it never was able to progress. And we're happy that we were able to get our hands on it and see it move forward like this. It's been awesome to see.
So I just have a few more questions for you. So another one would be, so we talked about people, we talked about process. Now let's talk about the product. So why is gold important?
You know, gold. Yeah, you can go on and on, but I think what we're coming into right now with a weakening U.S. dollar, fiat currency, it does seem to have a fairly weakening sentiment towards it. I think even on the cryptocurrency side, I think people are seeing a lot more value in a hard asset, something that you can hold. And gold has always been that standard,
Mhm.
since the start of civilization for us, and that isn't going away. But gold also has a lot of uses beyond that. In high end technology, we do have silver in this system as well, which has seen a lot more, I'd say, activity towards investment in that space,
Mhm.
primarily because of solar panels. The most effective solar panels out there use more silver than the least effective ones. So I think you'll see a shift towards that as well. And we just think precious metals is a great space to be in if you want to hedge against inflation and general uncertainty in the market as we continue on here.
So what you're trying to say is that gold is tried, tested, and true, and it's been tried, tested, and true for thousands of years. Is that correct?
That's it, and it's not going
Wow.
away. Yeah,
Okay. That
funny
seems pretty
enough.
simple.
Yeah.
The last thing I would like to, is one of the last things I'd like to do. So again, we've tried to explain in simple terms why this might be a really excellent gold opportunity. But
Mhm.
from your point of view, why do you think this investment has been de-risked for the average viewer?
Yeah, it's been de-risked in that, we've established what we have at Pilar. We're building off of that. Things are moving in the right direction there. The metallurgy there, which is simply how much of that gold can you actually recover out of the ground, is
Hmm.
looking extremely encouraging, and again better than the average than we see in the jurisdiction. And when we look at our other project, Picacho, which we're really just starting on, there's so much potential there, and we've got an excellent target that we'll be drilling on in the coming months. That is de-risked in itself, in that it's had historic drilling done on it, but never followed up on.
Mm.
So it lets us know that we've got mineralization not only at surface but at depth, and we just need to expand on that. And we think right now is an excellent opportunity to become a shareholder as we move forward.
So there were a few things really stuck out to me because again, I'm not a geologist nerd. I almost went to school for geology, but didn't quite get there. But what I saw as well is that this is not like you're trying to break ground in a new area. This is an area that is well established. There are the people, there is the expertise, and there is the demand. That's what I really saw. Second thing I noticed is that you've also been able to close a private placement in a time when it is difficult for anybody to be first of all thinking about how to keep the lights on, let alone how are we going to expand. And what impressed me more was that this was a single investor, someone who
Yep.
said, "Hey, I'm willing to put millions of dollars down in your process," which means there's a validation here, and that's a really big vote of confidence. So,
For sure.
could you maybe just briefly touch on a little bit more about the investor, maybe what they saw?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge endorsement for us and the team, and all the work that we've done over the last 2 years to build this up. And the investor coming in, it's a family fund.
Mm,
It's a group that's looking for companies that have growth potential, that are managed well, and that they just want to be involved with for the long term. And we think it's a perfect match for us. And as we continue to grow here, it's a perfect partner as we continue to develop. It's great to know that we've got their backing.
So we're going to be covering the story over the course of the next roughly year, if not a little bit longer. And we want to make sure that people know where to follow the company if you're looking for more updates. So the place you can find that is going to be on Twitter. We're going to leave the account right here for you if you want to go follow them. We will also leave that link in the description so you can make sure that it's easy for you to find. But I'm wondering if you have a message for the audience as we are signing off here.
Yeah, for the audience out there that are kind of looking at something different in terms of this type of space in the mining space, I think we've got an excellent team. We've built excellent projects here in Sonora, and we're really just getting started. So for those looking at it, keep an eye on it, and we'd be excited to have you as a new investor.
This company really piqued my interest, and that's the reason why we're going to be covering over the course of multiple months here. And I want to leave the audience, again, if you guys have enjoyed the video, please make sure to smash a thumbs up and drop us a comment and let us know what you think, because we want to collect questions potentially for the next interview. And if you have any thoughts or comments on Tocvan specifically, we would really appreciate that. And please just make sure to check our description for full disclaimer details. And otherwise, it's been really a pleasure to have you on, Brodie, and I'm looking forward to the next time we have a chance to connect.
Likewise, Justin. Yeah, thank you so much. Talk soon.
Thank you.